Okay, so we're moving on to the volume of pyramids and cones. We're going to start with the volume of the pyramid. So anytime we're finding volume, you're always finding basically the area of the base times the height of the object. Okay, so this is, it always relate, the volume, like the volume always relate to the prism to the base. Okay, so if I look at this, now if I take the prism, right, which is the rectangular prism that I have here, right? If I actually prism, right, that goes up here. I know it's bad, right? A rectangular prism, right? You see that that pyramid is taking a certain volume of that prism. It's not all of it. So if I do just length times width times height, right, it won't be right, because that's basically finding the volume of that rectangular prism. Okay, so that's why it's actually 1/3. So that pyramid will take 1/3 of the volume of that rectangular prism. Okay, that's why it's 1/3 length times width times height. Okay, so again, the height that we're using here is actually the height of the pyramid coming down from the top of the pyramid to the base. Okay, it's a perpendicular, it's called the altitude. Okay, so I have the length, I have the width, and I have the height. All what I have to do is I have to plug them into the formula. And then as you can see that all my units are the same, so I don't have to worry about any conversion. What do you guys get when you do that? Four. 4.9? Should be 2250. How did you do that on the calculator? Mm-hmm. Can I see it?
2250. Are you in a different order?
No, it doesn't matter. Oh, because you're dividing by 15, 18. The way that your calculator does, the way your calculator is going to do the 3 times the 15 times the 18 times this, all together first, because they're brackets, bad math, and that's going to do 1 divided by that. So the way you're going to enter this in the calculator, if you want to do the 1 divided by 3, find the answer for that, then multiply by 18, by 15, by 25, and that's going to give you the answer. Okay? Otherwise, your calculator is actually doing 1 divided by, and then multiplying all the numbers together. So you're multiplying by a huge, you're dividing by a huge number. Okay? Good. Now remember that the unit for volume is cube. Okay? So it's unit cube. All right. How do I calculate the volume of this pyramid?
First we have to find the perpendicular length of the pyramid.
We have to find the height, right? We have to find the height. I know the slanted height, which is not going to help me to find the volume. Slanted height is there to find the surface area. Remember that? Okay, so if I need to find the volume, I need the height, so I need to find this. How can I find this? What do I know?
Slanted height.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So I'm going to have to use the a squared plus b squared equals c squared using this triangle, right? I know c because that's the hypotenuse, yes? Do I know what A is? Do I know what this side right here is? That's right. It's in the middle. So when you're pressing the altitude when you're bringing down the altitude, it's going to be half of the side, which is half of 26, right? So that means this is going to be 13, right? So I have the triangle here, which is 13, 22. I'm looking for H. So I have H squared equal to 22 squared minus 13 squared. Yes? So H squared equal to 22 squared, which is 484, minus 169. And that would be 315. So my H is 17.7. So now I can do the volume equals 1/3 length times width times height. So that's 1/3. My length is 26. My width is 18. And my height is 17.7. And you should be getting 2,000. Oh my goodness. What was your answer? Because I pressed a different button here. 1 divided by 3 times 26 times 18.
761.2.
And then centimeter cube. We're good? Did we get that on the calculator? Perfect. Questions, guys? Can I go to the next page? Okay. Again, in this case, the cone is related to a cylinder. So again, if I'm going to draw a cylinder and I'm going to fit the cone in it, it's going to be 1/3 of the volume of that cylinder. Okay? So that's why it's 1/3 pi r squared h. All right? Remember that we have the circle, which is the base, right? Pi r squared. We have the height, and that's 1/3 of that. Okay? So again, it's about plugging into the formula. So a paper cup in the shape of a cone has a radius of 3.2 centimeter and a height of 6 centimeter. How much water can the cup hold? So if I want to write that, it's going to be 1/3 pi 3.2 squared times 6. Make sure you enter pi as pi. And your answer should be 64.3 centimeter cube. Now, if I tell you that the volume of the cup is 64.3 centimeter cube, right? Is this something that, volume of a water, is this something that you know, like that unit? Is it something useful to you? Would you be able to tell me, like, how is that compared to a water bottle? Would you be able to compare that centimeter cube to a water bottle for me? Yes, and this is, so basically, if you look in your, I have it. Yeah, you got it. So if you look on the purple sheet that I've given you, which is the conversion, every milliliter is equal to a centimeter cube. So milliliter, centimeter cube equal to 1. They're 1 to 1, okay? So how can I write this in milliliters? So what's 64.3 centimeter cube in milliliter? Exactly, right? Because it's 1 to 1, right? So that's why when we have milliliter, centimeter cube 1, right? That means that they're 1 to 1 ratio, okay? So that's easy to convert, okay? Now, if you want to convert it to again, if you want to convert it to liters, what do you have to do? Not times it, divide it by 1,000. So if you look, so we know that every 1 centimeter cube is equal to 1 milliliter, right? So if I have 64 centimeter cubes, so that's going to be 64.3 milliliter, okay? Now the question doesn't ask you, but it's good to know. It's good to know something like this. Now every 1 centimeter cube is equal to, sorry, where is the conversion? So, sorry, every 1 liter is equal to 1,000 centimeter cube. This is what the table is telling you, okay? So liters, centimeter cube, 1,000. That means every 1 liter of this is equal to 1,000 centimeter cube, okay? Now if I have 64.3 centimeter cube, how many liters do I have? Yeah. So the way that we do this, technically, if you want to remember this, what I do is, you see how I set it up with liter, centimeter cube, then I'm finding how many liters. I know centimeter cube is going to have to go under centimeter cube. Okay? Same unit go under each other, right? Then what we do is we cross multiply, and then we divide. Okay? So basically what I'm doing is I'm multiplying 64.3 centimeter cube by 1 liter, and I'm dividing by 1,000 centimeter cube, right? These cancels, I'm going to end up with liter. This is how you know that your answer is right? You're going to end up with liter, and that's going to be 0.0643 liter. Okay? Are we okay with this?